Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing well. I decided to get on with the help of my daughter to get on and do a moonlight reading since it's been a while. It's been a while since I first saw you. Is that Nickelback? I think that's Nickelback. I think. Hey, Bailey. Welcome in. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done a moonlight, so I figured I'd do that, and I didn't do a daily or come on at all today, so here we are. We're doing it now in the moonlight. And this is why it's called a moonlight reading. So this is moon energy. This is more emotional, or your emotions, things that we keep hidden, more than what people actually see. So with that, I guess we can get going and see what spirit has coming in. There's really no time thing on this. I guess it's just what's in the air. So, all right, angels and guides, those are the highest good. Get the messages that we need to hear at this time. What you have, please. Balance. I swear it looks like my camera just is not focusing. Okay. So we got some balance. Commune with the dead. Okay. Prosperity. And aligning, huh? It's been a while since I first. Hey, Jean, welcome in. I know it's kind of late. It's blurry. I don't know how to fix that. Let me see. Maybe if I try to get it to come in focus. There we go. If I bring it all the way up and put it back down. Yeah, I don't know. Goodness. I had an update on my laptop. So I can, if you guys just bear with me during this live, I will try and fix it. Oh, wait, there we go. Oh, I don't know. I'll try and fix it before we come back live again, just so it's not so blurry. Okay, so we've got prosperity. Okay, what is this? So there might be something about balancing with the finances because the fish came. The fish came out on top of the balance. Okay, and then communion with the dead. What is that? The Hermit. He's in the ring. The message and reconciling. What? Reconciling differences? I don't know. It's rectifying differences. Rectifying. And then the tree. Okay. So there's some shift energy here. Somebody's energy is shifting while they're like by themselves and they're going within. They're having a change of heart, but they're assessing a situation. And then you get this message. This feels like somebody's sitting back and they're trying to, well, I did say rectifying a situation, but they are putting some thought into something. They're looking at the situation. Could have been a contract or a partnership or something. And then I promise you, after all that's been said and done, I'll make it up to you. But it's the elephant with the mice. Oh my goodness, as soon as I was ready to say that, it's the elephant and the mice. So, okay. Okay, it's not funny, but it kind of is. So, you know the story about elephant and mice. Elephants are huge creatures, and mice are so tiny. They're the least, I mean, you wouldn't think nothing about that, but elephants are terrified of mice. Yet they're such big creatures. And what is going on here? It's kind of, you wouldn't think that somebody would be worrying about something, but there's something here, and somebody's worried about whether or not they have support. They're stressed about something, the loss of something, something like that. Wow, and I just split the deck open, and you've got the, yeah, my camera's completely backwards. You got the worry beads. Yeah, that's true. Who isn't afraid of spiders? Ew. Spiders have too many legs. Okay, so it's the friends. What about your friends? Do they your friends? Okay, so it's likely that whoever I'm talking about here, they are talking to their friends about repairing whatever this is. The pillar, or the pillars. There's some principle here. There's some structure here. This person feels that somebody's a grumpy cat. They're a grumpy cat. And it's like somebody was kind of like, it's my way or it's no way. My way or the hard, I almost said hard way. My way or the hard way? But then it comes out with the symphony. That's the assembly. Feels like a follow, yeah, I know how that, yeah, I know it's my way or no way. Or, I mean, my way or the highway. But it's how I channeled it. It's what I want. It's more or less this, I don't know. Somebody's just being disengaged. They're a grumpy cat. I mean, they're grumpus. They're grumpy. Their pride, that's why. It's the pride and the ego and the ostrich. They want to, they're running for cover. They are steering clear. They're avoiding something. And they just, evasive. I want to say evasive. I don't know if that's the right word. What's going on here? Let's get some tarot on this. It just feels like, yes, Grumpy McGrumpus. That's funny. They're being a grumpy pants. But there's some sort of like reconciliation or something. Something needs to align in order for something to come back during this energy. What is this? What can you tell me about what all this is? Because what I'm looking at is that there's a person that's trying to talk to their friends about something. It's the world. It's about a cycle. They're blocking the world out. They could have blocked somebody on social media. It's like, nope, I'm not dealing with this today. And that's what the ostrich is. Somebody's just avoiding something. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so what are we actually dealing with here? Spirit, what are we dealing with? That's way too many cards. If you were wondering if somebody knows that they hurt you, they did. They know. By walking away, they know that they hurt you. And it feels like they're avoiding it. It feels like, I'm not going to face this. I'm not going to deal with this. I don't want to talk about it. That's what that feels like. Okay, so what are we dealing with here? What are we talking about? Get a card, please. But there's that reconciliation. Again, in the star. Really? And that's the truth. It feels like just wait for it, because let's get together. Yeah. And you got the world coming out again. This is going to go full circle. It's not over. You're going to hear from this person. They're going to reach out because they want something to go to fixing. The Wheel of Fortune. You are clearly in a cycle with this person. Clearly. Why is the Wheel of Fortune out? Queen of Pentacles. Okay. It's meant for you. During this time frame, whatever the situation is, and whoever this person is, 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. This person is watching you. And they have regret. Boom. 4 of Cups. You should be the one wearing the crown. The 4 of Wands. You're home. You are this person's foundation. Well, I don't want to say it like that. But that's what it feels like. You're this person's foundation. But it feels like there's been a crack in the foundation. And what happens when the foundation cracks? It's never good. This person has regret. They feel bad. And they are like up thinking about this. They want an apology, or they want to give you an apology. Feels like sorry for being so harsh. Okay. Let's stop. Yeah, and then you got the 6 of Swords right there. So what you don't know, because again, this is moonlight energy. I'm reading in the moon energy. So it's stuff that's just what people are feeling, not necessarily expressing. So what you don't know until now is somebody is sitting back and feels like they're reminiscing, and they feel bad. They feel bad. They feel bad. What is this apology looking like? Separation. I'm so lonely. I got nobody to call my own. I can't hit that note. So you've got isolation, but then you get a visitor. The doorbell. This Emperor is going to make some changes. And it comes with a ladybug. Some people say that the ladybug, when you see a ladybug, it means a visitor is coming. Or you meet somebody new. But that's what this is saying here too with the doorbell. This person is coming back around. See through the facade. Justice is coming through. Judgment. There's a judgment that's going to be made. And the judgment is they're going to show up. However it can be. Whether they're going to show up physically or if they're going to show up in your phone. This is just tarot. So when I say they're going to show up, it can easily be they're going to show up through a text or a phone call. Like that. Yes, I'm live. Stalemate. Okay, so just so you know, the reason there was a stalemate, but their heart's still in it. There was a stalemate because somebody, it was the Wolverine, meaning unpredictable, wild, power struggle, assertive, inner demons, and determined, elusive. It feels like there was a power struggle between you two. But mind you, at the end of all things, they want to reawaken hope. And it comes with the heart. And to me, what's sticking out the most is the forgiveness. Can't really see it. But it's forgiveness. They want forgiveness. Feels like I could have been kinder. Transformation, told you. They want transformation with you. And they want a clean slate. Wow. Like I said, the broom. Can't really see it. There it is. At the bottom, it says restoring harmony. They want to fix what was broken. Their opportunity. They want new hope. Okay, so it feels like, okay. So down this windy road, they want to lay a stone. They have strong emotion because they feel like you are something special. Wow. And they'll give you what you want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. You're going to win in the situation. You got the house with the trophy and the deck I just seen. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, to be my lover, to be my friend. Something, I don't know the words to that song. I just can hear the beat. It feels like just wait for it. Hangman. And 10 of Cups. This person might be getting a new perspective on love and manifesting. You might have been manifesting this person to reach out. Wow. Because they're just your stability as well. Because look, you got the Four of Wands with the King of Pentacles. They see you as the Four of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. You guys' energies match. So, and you guys are missing each other in the moon. It feels like you guys miss each other a lot more in the moonlight, which it does not. Isn't always how it happens. You can go through the day being like, because you're busy. You're busy during the day. Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that song. It's funny. I haven't heard that song in forever. Man. Yeah, since my early 20s. Okay, what you're not understanding, or okay, what bring back what I was saying. Oh, okay, so yeah, during the day, you're busy, you're doing stuff. You're not doing so much thinking. You could be, but it's not as much until we come into the night. And in the nighttime, that's when you get stuck mentally. Will they reach out? And it's like somebody's stuck on an apology or learning something here. And it feels like, please forgive me. I know now what I do. Please forgive me. I'm so in love with you. Wait. That's not how that song goes, is it? I don't know. But you've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Just wait for it. It's a coming. So wait for it. It feels like this is a situation you don't want to rush. Don't rush it. You're going to get your wish. Especially if you've been trying to manifest. If you've been trying to manifest this person to come back, they're going to show up. Wow, Queen of Pentacles. I told you. And she's waiting. But not waiting like that, because we don't really wait like that. But it's like, this is the path. This is a person and an energy where you know what it is you want. You know who it is that you want. There's no changing her mind. This Queen of Pentacles is committed to this decision. This is her wish. You're not going to change her mind. You're not going to change his mind. Because again, you're both in the same energy. And it feels like, calm down. It feels like if you need to just sit on your hands for a little while and it will come together. Just feels like relax. If you need to take a bath. Hey, Jazz. Welcome in. It does feel like that. Like just take a soothing, sulking bath. Because everything is going to be all right. This person is coming around. I mean, it feels like they have to. because they think that you are something special. Okay. And of course, if somebody thinks that you're something special or someone special, they know that you're not going to stay single for long, or at least in their mind, you could have every intention on staying single for a long time. But to this person, you're quite a catch. Oh, I already forgot what it was I said. I don't know what I said. I'll have to rewind it back. But I know it wasn't the lyrics. It was what I heard. Huh. I have to watch that back. Okay. Okay, so basically, you have somebody who is you're going to have a new beginning with them. So it feels like, don't worry, because you're worrying. There's going to be a renewal. There is going to be a renewal in this situation. If you are asking or wanting for there to be a renewal, there will be. But it feels like you just have to, the more you hold on to a situation and the tighter you hold on to it, the longer it's going to take for it to come in. Believe me, I learned the hard way about that. Okay. Let me pull one more little, I'll pull one more quick little read out and see what we have for this moonlight. Okay. All right. Oof, okay. All right, what else do you have, please, Spirits? Wow, that was a lot. Third eye, some clarity, self-care, comfort zone. Didn't I say something about just taking a bath? I did. Avoidance, disharmony, and the one in the middle, forming, structure, solid foundation. Okay. That's interesting. Wow, I felt like I just yelled that. I'm sorry if it was super loud. Okay, so now this feels like this is a message for, what deck am I using actually? Of course. I was going to say this feels more like a read for, those who do the twin flamey stuff. But then I looked at the deck I was using, and of course it would be, because this is my Yin Yang Oracle. So of course, you got Venus right there. Anywho, so some people do believe, which I do, I would totally promote that and say that anyway, because we should be doing the self-care. We should be taking care of ourselves. But what this feels like is that if you're really trying to manifest and trying to get that person, it's like you have to start doing the work first. Because you can't really do the work. You can't. I guess you can. Who's to say you can't? You can do whatever you want to do. But it's basically trying to, if you're clinging to a person, like I just said that with the last thing here. It's going to take longer, basically, for that person to come. So if you can't do nothing else, do some self-care. You should be doing the self-care anyway and putting the work into yourself, because they say when you start doing the work, it's supposed to trigger them into doing the work. And in the long run, it brings them to you. So they say. I don't know about all that. Just because. Everybody knows how I feel about those things. But, so basically, this is talking about some self-care in the comfort zone, South Node, all of that. Yes, exactly. The energy always needs to be moving. Moving. Energy does move, though, all the time. It can get stuck. A detour. There's delays. Okay, so the structure here with the solid foundation, there's been a detour, which means there's been a delay. There's been an interruption. There's been an obstacle. There's been some setbacks. The avoidance, which is the stalemate right here with the conflict. There's been some disharmony. And then you got the third eye, the clarity here. There's also something here. It feels like somebody's feeling bound. Okay, so, gosh, I don't like talking about that type of stuff because I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not. And I'm not reading people. I'm reading energies. But a lot of times, I don't know how to put it. People, and I've said this before when it comes to these things. That's why I need to put this deck up because I don't like this deck. Only because I'm not trying to mislead people. And yes, exactly. If you're just sitting around waiting all day, you're going to drive yourself insane. You truly will. And you'll just waste so much time. But for me, like I say, and if I feel like a broken record, but I do say it. I even say it to personal clients. When it comes to those type of connections, the reason why I feel that way, that I do, and it's just my own personal thoughts and opinions on it. But it's because things get glorified. And when I'm looking under this, the reason I'm talking about it is because the third eye with the clarity underneath that is talking about toxicity, a bound in patterns of something that's toxic. And that's my whole point. And needing to be empowered and have the strength to leave something. Don't stay in something just because a reader tells you that, oh my gosh, it is so glorified. And that's why I don't like those type of things. I try my best to steer away from those because I won't do it. I refuse to glorify a toxic situation because that is not my whole reasoning for doing what it is that I do is for healing and guidance purposes. Yeah, it's fun to talk about the guys and who's going to message and connections that we're in. And, it's for entertainment, yes. But underneath it all, it's for healing and for guidance. And it comes with responsibility. So for me, that's why a lot of times when I read like the third party or lower stuff, I don't like those readings because I don't want to glorify them. It's not okay to keep yourself in those type of situations. And it feels like there might be something here, like getting established. You have experience in this. If I am talking to you, you have experience. You know what something toxic is. Because with the clarity here, the third eye and the clarity, you know if something is a pattern. You know if it's toxic. You know you're going to be bound to it. This chain is not wrapped around you, so you can get out of it. And it just feels like, and now I'm not saying that like that as far as being insensitive. Trust me, I'm not insensitive to it. I have history in it. Long time ago. But it's hard. So not everybody is ready to just, you got to be understanding and you got to be, all of that. But it's hard. It's really hard to watch a friend or see somebody going through stuff. I think back on my family who's seen stuff, and it is. But if you've learned and you have experience in it and you've taken the journey here with the tracks, then it feels like keep going. And how did I get on that? Oh, I think because I was talking about the factor of this does feel like one of those twin flame things, and it's probably because of the deck, like I said. But it just feels like somebody's avoiding something because they don't want to see that there is a situation that is actually a toxic situation that they might be involved in. And right. Yeah. See, I hear you, Jean. I'm the same way. Because a lot of those, from the history of the digging that I've done with those, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
And it could just be what has been brought to my attention. Even when I've asked my guys, I've asked. And the conclusion I have come to from channeling it and doing all that is that it's really, it's a union between yourself, your feminine and your masculine energy within yourself. And if it is that, where it is a twin flame thing, those are the hardest connections you will ever be in, where it's abusive. And if the reason for those is to rip you down, or not rip you down, it's to make you build and get empowerment for yourself, to come back to self, which would be what? Coming back to balance with the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself, more than it is another person. So it feels like the foundation is broken here because somebody needed to rethink their priorities, or there was a different path, or there was just some sort of setback, an external force. You know, it's just, is something there. And really what it feels like is that it was toxic. And tell me about that. And I'm only going to spend a couple minutes on this because I don't like, see, it was to realize how resilient you are, to get your confidence back, the fireworks, your passion, and to have, it's the darkest before the dawn. You know how they say that? It's the dark before the dawn. It's awakening. That's, I guess, another thing that they say. And not everybody has one. I think it's just a way how, you know, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about that. Believe me, I have very, very, very my own opinions on that. And I've gone deep into them. But that's not for the channel to hear me. Blah. It's for you to, whatever this was, you needed to see the clarity on a certain pattern that somebody does. Because you might be trying to avoid it because of whatever. My mouth is so dry right now. And I don't know why it is. But see this, oh well. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it because the thing's blurry. But even right there, that word right there, it says clarity. It'll show. There you go. Clarity and problems. You're going to win. There's a victory in unconditional. Okay, that's another thing. Wow, red flag right there sticking out. Okay. You can have, look, I feel like I'm going on a rant. You can have unconditional love for somebody. You can. But that does not mean you have unconditional access to me to continue to bring you serious issues my way. Meaning anything that is toxic. But I can still love you unconditionally. Loving you is, it comes with no conditions. But I love myself more. Does that make sense? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Then it comes the Milky Way. Somebody's going to try. It feels like a heads up. Yeah, this man. This is my please forgive me card. I always see this man as the one that sings that song. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. But in a way, if it's a pattern, I'm sorry, buddy. You do know what you're doing. You do. This person feels restless, but they're going to tell you that they changed. Stalemate. During the stalemate, it feels like they're going to tell you that they changed. But again, it feels like go back and remember what they were trying to, it feels like, this feels like a heavy, hard one to talk about. So I don't know who this is meant for. But it's almost like refusing to compromise. You should never have to compromise your self-worth. I'm just saying. This isn't me giving no, ladies empowerment or nothing like that, because it can go for men as well. It absolutely can. Men can go through just as much as what women can go through when it comes to situations like this. Whatever this whole thing is right here is heavy. It does feel heavy. It feels toxic. It feels like this could be a trigger for a lot of people. But it's almost like it feels like There's some clarity that some people are trying not to see. Oh, this just flipped over in my hand. I don't know if you guys, oh no, you weren't able to see it because it wasn't on camera. You've got the drinking, the harmony, and coming back. This almost feels like somebody's they have to drink in order to come back. That liquid courage, it's just a windy road. You've been down this road before, and there's a choice. I'm also getting this a two-way street, but there's a lesson to learn in this. Feels like getting what, no, I'm not saying it like that. How can I put that? In a sense, it feels like accountability, okay? And that's crazy because I was just saying this to my kids last night. I was. So that's kind of crazy how it's coming back. So and this is just my opinion. I feel like I'm having an opinion talk tonight and not really necessarily, and maybe it's because somebody needs to hear that or something. I don't know. Now, I'm not talking about like, how do I explain this? So I think personally, when it comes to relationships, yes, there's two sides to every story. There's actually three sides. We've heard this before. There's his side, her side, and the truth. But at the same time, I look at it too, as far as even in relationships, even if it is, now I'm not putting blame on anybody who's been abused. I'm not doing that. I'm really honestly not. I might lose some subscribers, but I'm just saying with my own healing and learning experience, I think accountability goes both ways. It's just my opinion, but I do. Only because of the simple fact that we do that. Maybe even in our younger years, when we don't value ourselves, we teach people how to treat us by what we allow them to do. And meaning, of course, nobody's going to allow somebody to just, talk mean and do all that. No, of course you're not. But it's the forgiving time and time again. It's as far as the factor of, and it's hard for people to get out of those situations. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Been there. But the more we do the self-care, that's why it's so important to do self-care. The more we learn how to value ourselves, the less we're open to let people do that. And it feels like there is something going on where somebody wants to come and explore again to see how flexible you are. Can I do it again? Can I just come back around and say, I'm sorry, I'm changing? Because do they? Not really. Because nobody changes really for anybody but their own selves if they really want to change. And it can take years and years and years for somebody to actually put in the change, to actually change. But they have to do it for themselves, not for anybody else, or else it's not going to work. But this feels like somebody is going to try and come back around talking about they've changed. So let me see. Did they? And mind you, typically the way that I read and how it is that I read, it's very rare that it'd be somebody from like 7 years ago. Mine is normally like 7 days, 7 weeks, maybe 7 months. Not typically longer than that. And in that short amount of time, I don't know if they would really change. Okay, so what is this person really, are they coming through with the truth, Spirit? It's the Queen of Swords, the Hanged Man. Well, it's Queen of Swords, Hanged Man. The decision, it feels like it's the Queen of Swords that's going to make the decision here. Which a Queen of Swords looks at things. They listen. This feels like that. I listen and I won't judge. But they will make the final decision. What are they coming with? King of Cups. They recognition. There's that. It's a Knight of Cups. They want a victory. The Magician. Temperance. They want to balance with you. They want to heal this. It feels like they're telling the truth, that they do want to heal this. Something feels off though. What is that? They want to move something. If this isn't like a toxic, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to glorify something here. But I'm not kidding. The energy feels off. What is really going on here? Okay, that's a good card. That's a good card. Page of Wands. They're going to tell you that this is destiny. They want to reciprocate. Wait a minute. There's a 7 of Wands there, though. But 10 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Look at this. This is what I mean by something feels off. It all looks good, but if you look at the big picture, those are dead fish. Fish and tarot could be finances, but they're dead. This one is even eating the carcass. Or carcass. Carcass. Oh, wow. And then look at how the deck fell down, or how I put the deck down. 10 of Swords, Death. Oh, we can't see it. Death. And then 5 of Wands. Use your own judgment here is what I'll say. Because it could be different for everybody. But I'm telling you that the energy feels off. It's the King of Swords. Walking away. Moon and the Emperor and the 5 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Fool. This person wants a passionate new beginning. The Lovers. The Empress. It's because you were an Empress. But see, there's something swirling. 3 of Cups. Wow, and then you got the Moon with the Emperor. I don't know what to tell you on this. I feel stumped. He's sitting on the truth of something here. He's standing on some form of something that's the truth. What is that? Feels like he's going to lay his sword down for right now. What is this? The Beaver. Feels like as soon as he gets the Beaver, he's going to take off. There's some effort that's required. It's... This person is an opportunist. It's a wild card. Open-ended. It's a game changer. The Compass. The Light Bulb. Seeking the truth. Blueprint. The Bear. Making stable changes. Justice. I mean, it does feel like they want it. Wow. This could be an Aquarius and a Libra. And then you got Swans. Change of heart. But within, I think more importantly, within a week or two, this person is going to come back and tell you that they're trying to make stable changes. I mean, it's looking good, but okay, so pay attention to it feels like they're going to tell you, you can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. Feels like to save this. But then in a way, I'm not kidding. It does feel like once they get what they want, they're going to go back to being the same. Wow. See? Squirrel. Split the deck. Just literally split it. It goes right back to squirrely energy. So it feels like use your own discernment on this. Feels like it kind of got deep there for a minute. One more time. Tell me what this thing is, Spirit. Let me shuffle this. Because I do not want to mislead anybody. I'm not going to mislead anybody. What is this? What is the male coming in? The masculine coming to say? What do they truly want? 7 of Wands. That's blocking. Decision. Feels like they want you to see. They want to block your decision. Queen of Pentacles. It's the same energy. The Chariot. They regret what they said. Defensive. In a way that kind of feels like you made me say it. Or I acted that way because you made me act that way. Nobody can make you do anything like that. Seven of Cups. They're trying to confuse you. And then you've got the 8 of Cups. Wait, what? It does feel like they regret what they said. Or they're sorry that they were too sharp. It does feel like that. Ace of Cups, because I love you. I don't like using those type of words either. But it does feel like that. Wow, but it's the truth. Oh my gosh, it flipped over like it did. I wish you guys would have seen that. It feels like love bombing. And I don't like using words like that because, again, I'm not a therapist. But that's what it feels like. It feels like I love you and you only you can make me get that mad. 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 7 of Swords. The drama unfolds. Page of Swords. I don't like this energy. I can't really tell you too much over it. It feels like do what you will with this information, but really it feels like somebody coming and saying like, I did all that because I really love you. No, you don't, because that's not what love is. Work on yourself. I just seen the 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. It feels like it takes some time, like this Emperor, whoever the masculine is, or the aggressor, or whatever you want to call them, they need to take some time and sit down and work on themselves. That's the 4 of Cups. Strength. And then it feels like then out of nowhere, then they'll have the strength to do better action, King of Wands, and come back together. Temperance, and have a better, they'll be more tempered. This feels like this is somebody who argues a lot. They want to argue. And they want to do all that. And then it's like, yeah, the Tower right there. Tower. And it's to keep somebody stuck in their head and make somebody else look like the fool. That's what it is. Ugh. And this person gets really defensive. But it could be because they're the wounded warrior. Page of Wands. They're the wounded warrior. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to deal with any more wounded people. If that makes sense. I don't. And it should be, I mean, you can have compassion. That sounded so insensitive. It's not, I don't know how to explain that. But when somebody, I don't know how to explain that. I'm waiting even to hear the channel part of it. It's more or less when you're dealing with people who are wounded, you're going to get wounded in their energy. And yes, of course, people need friends and they need stuff like that. And you could be this person's friend, of course. But I'm talking about what this is here. This feels like a relationship. This feels like, you know what I mean? Because you're going to take that energy on. And if you can be friends with somebody, yeah, that's fine. But it feels like put up boundaries. This person doesn't want that, though. Page of Swords. Knight of Wands. This person is an in and out person. You know that. Feels like pay attention to how they move. Pay attention to their energy. Feels like pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Especially if you're a person who's looking for an actual relationship. This is not the person. If you're looking for an actual relationship, this person comes in and out. They want to come in, stir up a bunch of stuff, and then run out. Because it does feel like because they have toxic stuff going on. If that makes sense. That felt like a doozy. That one was I don't know. I hope you guys were able to keep up on that. And if this is your situation, it does feel like, please pay attention to the signs, because you are getting signs of this situation. Look, I'm not a therapist, but in a sense, I kind of feel like that, where it's kind of like you can still get abused without it being physical. You can have emotional, mental, all of that can be it. And it feels like this person has a pattern, and it feels like of control. They want you to feel a certain way that they want you to feel. And they're not willing to compromise, but they want you to compromise. They want you to do it, but they're not going to do it. So it does feel like, I don't know, this person might really be in their ego. Right. I hear you. Yeah, that's why I keep feeling like this is somebody needed to hear this. I don't know who, so I hope it makes it to the right person that needed to hear it. Because I know I did say that this was a collective, but if you only take this message that I just said, only take it if it resonates. If it does not resonate for you, do not force it. But it does feel like somebody needed to hear this, and that's why it needed to come out. So for whoever that message was meant for, I send you lots of healing and all of that. And I really hope you the best and everything. But it does feel like you're struggling, and you need to know that you're not by yourself, and that spirit really needed you to hear that. Okay, so on that heavy note, I am going to leave it there. I will be back on tomorrow again for a daily and questions. And I hope to see all you guys there. And thank you, all those who stopped in and who watched the Moonlight. And I wish you guys all the very, very best of luck. All right, thanks, guys. Good night.